Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jarred.
Hi.
Hello. So, what's up?
Have we just got that comfy now that we just... Yeah. Yeah,
What'd
good.
it do?
Yeah, good.
What'd it do?
Good. How are you?
I'm beautiful. So,
Good.
I will say, on the way here, driving on 87, all I could think about was Jess's episode last week.
Oh,
because you were driving on 87. Okay.
Yeah. Like, taking it the whole way here, I was just like, I wonder, like, where exactly.
Maybe if it'll stop raining. I can go investigate.
Is it still not stopped yet?
Not enough for that trail to dry up.
Wow. Wow, that's
like,
fucked
no
up.
shit. It's every other day. Also
Yeah, it just... Yeah.
Wow.
It rained
Even when it's
yesterday.
not forecasted. Like, it's forecast to be like, oh, it's going to be sunny and 93 today. And then it's like, oh, surprise, it's raining.
And for once, it's we've not got the rain.
Well, we finally had a few days of sunshine, so it's been good.
Yeah, that picture of you that you sent last week in the chat, what was it, last Sunday you sent in the chat?
Oh, that was
brilliant.
adorable.
Got the sun down in the Mazda, that was great.
That was good.
Absolutely adorable.
Perfectly
Perfectly
splendid.
splendid.
Brain cell. Y'all share the same brain cell.
I hate that.
Y'all are gonna split that thing in half if y'all keep tugging at it so
Not
hard.
only do I hate the quote to begin with, the fact that I had to say it, but the fact that we said it at the same fucking time. I'm fine.
What
it's
is
fine.
Rex barking about?
Probably my cackling.
Anyway.
Well, I had band practice yesterday, which was good.
Let's start
Oh,
back
was
up
that
again.
fun?
It's great. It's so good to be playing together again.
Looks like it's been a
Love it.
fucking long ass time now.
Yeah, well, it's been almost 2 years since we did a gig, so
Bastard. That's too long. That's too long.
2 more weeks and it'll be our first one in a long time.
Damn.
So, like I said, I'm not going to have much of a voice left the next day.
It has something better
Sorry,
than
what
like
was that,
a Nokia brick phone. Because the last video you sent of one of your gigs was like 3 pixels max. I'm like,
What?
was this recorded in 1992? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know what
Does
one you're
Australia
seeing.
have they not gotten to Androids and iPhones yet, or like what's going on here?
No, I think that was an iPhone, but one of the earlier models.
No shit. That was the iPhone 1 prototype. That one didn't make it out of the lab.
Yeah. No, I do have a better recording.
Good.
I used
Good.
my proper camera. So, but yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
We've bought some new gear which we've been wanting to use and we never got the chance. So
Yeah.
now we do.
Are you going to do like one of those ones that's your first gig back and you're just going to wreck the stuff on the same night?
He's gonna rock out
No.
with his cock out.
No, we actually bought some wireless in-ear monitors, so
Right.
we don't have the fold-back speakers on stage, which causes so much issue with feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the units we bought the audio quality is just amazing. Before, you couldn't hear much difference depending on how close you were to the microphone. It all sounded the same.
Yeah.
Now you can pick up the subtle difference as soon as you move away from the microphone. It's just like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Gotta get my ass to Australia.
So it's really weird. We're all, the three of us, is all in the same room, but we've all got the wireless headset in, so we talk through the mic to each other. Someone else comes in and you start talking, you're still talking to them through the mic to them. It's like they can't hear what's coming through the microphone.
I texted Charles to ask what Rex was barking at, but Dougie was talking about his band, and so I almost accidentally texted, "What is Dougie barking about in there?" Oh, just my band.
Woof, woof.
What makes it even better is the fact that a while ago, going back a few months ago now, the compilation we did of all like the characters called Dougie, they're all dogs.
Yeah.
No,
So
and that's
that
funny
makes
because that
sense.
bonus episode that just you guys did, there was one like question or card where it was like you guys had to make
Oh, I
animal
barked.
noises, and
Yeah,
Dougie
Dougie
immediately defaulted to woof woof.
Woof woof. Yeah, I just started barking. Yeah.
And then Charles, my beloved husband, did a ribbit.
Yeah.
I'm like, Charles, you know, like the main two pets, or you know, whatever people think of is cat and dog.
Cat
You
and
could hit
dog.
him with the meow, you know.
Yeah, but he got
This
to
man was like ribbit.
he got to get the Pepe council in there. You know. He's
I was about to
channeling-
say he was thinking of the Pepe Council.
Yeah, he's channeling them. It's fine.
He doesn't have cats. He's got dogs in the Pepe Council.
I can't even remember what animal noises I did on an episode. I can't remember. I was too busy trying to think of US states.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, become a patron on Patreon today.
Yes.
Get that plug in there.
Yes. I
Always
haven't.
be plugging.
I never prepare small talk, but like I usually go in like having an idea of something that I want to mention from the previous week. But this time I'm like, I'm out. I'm so ready to get started on Amber's topic. Like
Well-
I don't want to talk about anything that happened to me this week personally because
Well,
I just
then-
want to go into it.
Well, then why don't we just skip the bullshit and just jump straight into this?
Oh my god, my nerves.
Or are we giving Amber another 30 seconds?
Are you gonna send me my part of the script or not, Amber? We have a whole
Oh, yeah.
dramatization planned.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead and send that to her really, really quickly.
Wait, you got a script? Hang on a minute. What? Wait,
Well,
what?
here's the thing. There is a part of my episode where I am going to be referencing a 911 phone call.
Oh.
So,
It's right. Okay, I see where this is going.
yeah, and so it would sound very, very silly for me to
Recite
read
both
parts. So let me go ahead and message.
So I'm
this
making
to
Amber
Jessica.
do
one of
the
us gonna be
dramatic
operator,
part.
the other one's gonna be... Okay. Of course you would have the dramatic
she
part.
is.
Yes. Why else?
Okay, Jess, I'm just sending this to you in the jarred group chat. Boys, don't look at it.
Okay.
And I know everything I've got running right now is on airplane mode, so it's fine. Although my iPad,
that
my iPad
professional?
has just lit up though, so I have just outed myself there. As soon as you said that lit up, so we just block that out. There we go. You go away.
Okay, well, take it away, Amber. We didn't do all those shots for nothing. Come on.
No, we didn't. Okay,
Over to
so.
you.
All right, so I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Last season, when we did a vote for between urban legends and unsolved mysteries, I'm not going to lie, I was very pissed that unsolved mysteries did not win, but it's fine because we're doing it now and I can talk about it now. This case will be 25 years old this year.
Wow.
This is Unsolved. When me and Jess were talking last week, and we were like, we've literally like been born into this. I mean,
This is
person
our
that I'm
inheritance.
referring to. Do what?
So this is our inheritance.
Yeah. So the person that I am going to be speaking on is the unsolved mystery of the murder of JonBenet Ramsey.
Oh,
Are you guys familiar?
The name rings a
looks-
bell. The name rings a bell.
Okay.
I'm not gonna Google like I did with last season.
I mean, if anything, if you want to like just like look up her picture, that's fine.
I
Because
might have to, yeah.
I'm gonna be talking a little bit about her appearance, but you'll understand why. So most of the time, whenever you Google JonBenet Ramsey, one of the main descriptors that you see of her is that she was a American child model. JonBenet Ramsey was a beauty pageant little girl. JonBenet Ramsey was born August... Hold on. Hello, my notes. There we go.
Oh, yes, of course.
She was born August 6th, 1990, which is, I'm less than a month older than her. Or would have been. Either way. Born on August 6, 1990 to parents Patsy and Jon-Benet Ramsey, which, fun fact, that's how she got her name. She was named after her father, a combination of his first and middle name. Thought that was a little...
That's a bit egocentric, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What just happened to...
Why is Dougie just...
What's wrong with Dougie?
Did he either drop off the camera or did he run out of the room? I just looked up and he'd gone.
I thought I heard him kind of say, "I'll be back in a minute." His audio's been kind of weird for me.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Dougie just disappeared.
I wondered where he'd gone.
I said, don't mind me. I said, I forgot to plug the power in for my laptop. So
Right.
It just reminded me that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Speaking of Unsolved Mysteries, where the fuck did Dougie go?
Where did Dougie go? Everybody's audio still good? Damn.
But she was born to her parents, Patsy and John, in Atlanta, Georgia, and by the time that she reached the age of 6, the year that she died, she was, in fact, a beauty queen. Her hair was just this golden blonde. Her bangs, probably almost always feathered. My mom had a thing about feathering my bangs when I was little.
My first haircut I ever got, they did that to my bangs during the style process, and I cried my fucking eyes out. Mom, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. You remember what you did to me.
Yeah, why? Shout out Jeanette for, she always fucking feathered my bangs, and I did not understand this shit, but whatever. If you look at some of JonBenet's pageant portraits, I noticed that in some of the pageant portraits, she may have been made to wear color contacts because her eyes were naturally green, but in a lot of her pageant pictures, you could see that her eyes were, in fact, blue in some of them.
And they're very vibrant as well. Very.
Very, very. She was a very, very beautiful girl. But she was, at that time, she was the poster for, little girl American beauty. At the time that all of this happened, she became America's daughter. By the time that JonBenet was a year old, her family relocated from Atlanta, Georgia to Boulder, Colorado. They located because of her dad's job. He was the president of this company, Access Graphics headquarters, which later became a subsidiary of Lockheed Martin Corporation. They deal with in American aerospace, defense, information security, just a big technological company. But when JonBenet was in Colorado, that's where her pageant career started. And she was doing pageants from 1994 to 1996. And I have a list of all of her pageant accomplishments. She was Colorado State All-Star Kids pageant winner, April 1994. Little Miss Charlevoix in July 1994. She also won Tiny Miss Beauty. That year was unknown. America's Royale Tiny Miss Division title in July of 96. America's Royale Miss Colorado Dream Queen in July of 96. Miss Colorado Sunburst, October of 95. Sunburst National Pageant second place in August of 96. Colorado's Little Miss Christmas, December 17th, 1996. And then the last pageant that she was ever in, Colorado's All-Stars Christmas pageant, Medal for Talent, December 22nd of 96. So just December 22nd of 96, 1996. 3 days after that pageant, she's murdered.
Yikes.
I mean,
At
with
the
a
age of
name
6.
like that and a face like that, it's like you're probably gonna groom your child to be a child star at some point. It's like the Britney Spears thing. Everyone in her family's named fucking Jamie, but then she's born. They're like, oh, Britney, but we're gonna spell it different because we're gonna make her a child star.
Yeah.
JonBenet, come on.
I mean, I don't even agree with pageants to begin with, but
No, it's weird.
that's excessive, right there.
I remember being little and like some people telling my parents like, why don't you put her in pageants? And like in my mind I'm thinking, please, no.
No.
Oh, no one ever told my parents that. I must have been fucking ugly.
JonBenet Ramsey, her body was discovered in the basement of her family home. And what I'm going to talk about this episode specifically, I'm going to talk about the night leading up to her murder and basically the first several hours after her body is discovered. I mentioned before that I was going to be covering my entire season arc. This episode, I'm really just setting the scene because I believe that how this situation was handled altogether makes a huge difference as to why this crime has never been solved. So today I'm just going to be setting the scene, setting the tone. My next episode, I'm probably going to go over evidence and maybe some theories. And then my last episode, I definitely want to go into some theories and what the hell I think, because I have opinions.
We're all going to by the end of this one.
Maybe we should have added a disclaimer on your topic because there is someone involved in this story, Amber, you probably know, that recently actually won a lawsuit for like hundreds of millions of dollars for like defamation or like slander or something like that. So this is all opinion, you guys. It's all alleged. That's
All opinion.
Please
and
don't sue us.
We're so poor.
We have nothing to gain.
And I will go ahead and cite my sources for this episode. Wikipedia.org, biography.com, pageantstarusa.blogspot.com, In Touch Weekly, reddit.com, romper.com, cnn.com, and bustle.com. Okay, so the night of December 25th, Christmas night of 96, the Ramsey family, which is to include Patsy, John, their son Burke, who was aged 9 at the time, and JonBenet, they all attend a Christmas party that was hosted by family friends Fleet and Priscilla Wyett. They will come into play a little later, I promise.
I hate that dude's name. I'm sorry.
I do too.
Fleet White.
Fleet White.
Fleet.
Anyway.
Pardon me, had to take a sip of water. Following the party, when the Ramsey family arrived home, Patsy and John insist that JonBenet had already fallen asleep, like in the car on the way home, and that her and her brother were in the bed at, like, tentatively 10 p.m. that night, and that was the last time that they would report seeing her alive. So 2 hours later, at around midnight, so starting the very early morning of December 26th, their neighbor, Scott Gibbons, reports seeing a kitchen light on at the Ramsey home. And then following 2 hours later, at around 2 o'clock in the morning, another neighbor, Melody Stanton, allegedly hears a scream coming from the Ramsey's home. Her husband then reported hearing sounds of metal on concrete, and sometime after that, a scream. Years later, Melody is going to recant all that shit. She's going to say, well, I'm not really sure that I actually heard it that night. Maybe I had heard it, the couple nights previous. I'm not sure if I even heard it at all.
What difference does it make? Why wouldn't you call the cops? Like, I think, didn't she say it sounded like a child screaming? That's what she said? Like,
I think that's how she described it. Like,
why wouldn't you call the police either way? Like, what the fuck? Okay, weirdo.
Yeah, I have opinions. We'll get to those another episode. I'm really trying my best to, like, hold my personal opinions to, like, the last episode because I don't know, like,
we
I feel like
keep it impartial so the boys can form their own, and then that way you guys can compare and contrast at the end.
Right, and the fact that there's so much information, I want to make sure that I get all the information out and then be like, now this is what the fuck I think. Anyway. So, 3.5 hours later, at about 5:30 a.m., Patsy gets up to make coffee, and she reports finding a 2-page note on the back staircase stating that JonBenet had been kidnapped. The note claims to be from a small foreign faction demanding a ransom of about $118,000, which was what the note said. I calculated due to about inflation right about now, that's about $200,000.
That's a very precise number, 118,000.
There's a reason.
That will come into play later, my man.
Okay.
I promise. Shortly after 5:45 a.m., so mind you, I just said that she finds the note at about 5:30. It's now 5:45. About 15 minutes has passed. Patsy calls the family friends that she was just at the party with the night previously. She calls them first before she calls anybody else. She calls Fleet and she calls Patsy and she calls Priscilla. Not only does she call them two, but she calls another.
White.
Yeah, Mr. Fleet White. She calls them two, and then she calls 2 more family friends, John and Barbara Fernie.
These people are very social life oriented, as the boys will find out as we go.
Yeah. This family was a family of socialites, I would say. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you the ransom note. It says, Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want to see her, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to this letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate sized attached to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money and hence an earlier pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for a proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you to not provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police or FBI, will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned, we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, Jon. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, Jon. Use that good Southern common sense of yours. It's up to you now, Jon. Victory. And then it is signed with the acronym SBTC.
I didn't realize a ransom note would be a thesis.
That is everyone's thoughts on this situation.
That is...
Oh, God. I want to...
That's so...
Okay, I'm going to spoil something. I'm going to spoil something right now. Ryan, this note was written in the Ramsey home.
Yeah, that's not...
Like, it was... Like,
that's
pre-planned.
That's had thought put into it. Somebody who's written 5 drafts of that and then gone, that's the final piece right there. Not somebody's gone, ha, bitch, I've got your daughter, pay $180,000
Amber,
to
do you want
this
to share with him how they knew it was from the family home?
No.
Home? Okay.
I don't want to share that yet. But this note, you heard how long it was. You heard how detailed it was.
Yeah.
That note was written inside of the family home, either around the time that JonBenet was murdered, most likely. So, I'm not going to speculate. This is just facts
Whoa.
today.
Can I
have
add
a
something on? Can I add something on?
Yes,
that
absolutely.
I don't think it's a
You can.
spoiler, but I heard that they brought in a few, I don't know who it was, but like there was a test done on a few people with that same note, and they were asked to write that note out and like non-stop writing, and it took like 25 minutes, I think, to write that note in its entirety without stopping.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's almost half an hour that they were just in the family home writing that note.
It's a long ass time to write a note.
Yeah.
Especially
if you're an intruder in a strange home.
I have theory already, but I would like more evidence to back it up. Oh, I'm gonna like this one.
Okay, so I told you that Patsy found the note at about 5:30 a.m.
Yes.
Now, right off the bat, if I found a note like that and my child was gone, I probably would immediately call the police. I might not call my family friends. That's just me. I don't even know that I would call the authorities.
No.
I might. Like a letter like that sounds incredibly threatening. I
don't think I would call I mean, I can't say, how I would react in that situation because I've never been in that situation, but if it were written on the walls, like almost quite literally, like, do not call the cops or your daughter dies, I wouldn't call anyone. Like, I would go to Charles and be like, what do we do here? Like, we need to figure out what to do about this because they're gonna fucking kill our kid if we do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I doubt that I would be calling my family friends. I fucking know that much.
Yeah.
So, she discovers the note tentatively about 5:30 a.m. At 5:52 a.m., Patsy finally makes a phone call to the police. Jess, if you wouldn't mind, I'll go ahead and start reading from the transcript of the 911 phone call.
Oh, I've got it pulled up. I'm ready to go. I will be playing the role of 911 dispatcher. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll be reading for Patsy, and Jess will be reading for the 911 dispatch. Police?
What's going on, ma'am?
755 15th Street.
What's going on there, ma'am?
We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please.
Explain to me what's going on, okay?
There's a note left and our daughter's gone.
A note was left and your daughter's gone?
Yes.
How old is your daughter?
She's 6 years old. She's blonde, 6 years old.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. I just got the note and my daughter's gone.
Does it say who took her?
What?
Does it say who took her?
No, I don't know. There's a ransom note here.
It's a ransom note?
It says SBTC Victory, please.
Okay, what's your name? Are you Kath?
Patsy Ramsey. I'm the mother. Oh my God, please.
Okay, I'm sending an officer over, okay?
Please.
Do you know how long she's been gone?
No, I don't. Please. We just got up and she's not here. Oh my God, please.
Okay, call.
Please send somebody.
I am, honey.
Please.
Take a deep breath and...
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Patsy? 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 Patsy?
At 5:59, 7 minutes after that phone call was made, an officer arrives on scene. The first of many of Boulder Police Department's finest. And I say that with a big grain of salt when I go into what I'm about to go
was
into.
that sarcasm? Okay.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I was like, were you saying that sarcastically?
Oh, that was no. That was sarcastic as fuck. That was sarcastic as fuck. But I do want to point this out because I'm still kind of hyped from Jess's last episode. Like, that type of response time. Someone got there in, like, 7 minutes. And it's, like, already everyone is on top of being there for those little... and, I mean, they should be, but they should be like this for fucking everyone. Yeah. If you can be this responsive for a blonde-haired, green-eyed child, do it for the ones of color, too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
And that's my PSA on that. All right. This is where it's going to get really frustrating, and I'm going to get really pissy. And the reason I'm going to get particularly pissy is because I have some criminal justice under my belt in terms of my degree, and the way that this was handled was, even for early 90s standards, what happened is not okay. So between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., 4 more officers come up on scene. Oh, that was weird. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
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 Okay. My headphones just made a weird noise. Anyway. So, between 6 and 8, 4 more officers come. So, the Wyetts, the Fernies, another gentleman, Reverend Hoverstock, also come on the scene. So that's both sets of the family friends that Miss Patsy called, and a reverend that someone has called. And there's victim advocates, and there's crime scene investigators, all present inside of the home. Inside. From where JonBenet was kidnapped.
Which is a crime scene.
A crime scene. Like, just all of these people. So, shortly after, at about 10 o'clock, the first detective on the case, Linda Arndt, I can't say her name. She immediately starts investigating whenever she gets to the house, but again, it's about 10 o'clock at this point. And she immediately starts her investigation. Okay.
Has the kidnapper called in to
At
claim
10
the ransom? Amber?
Don't make me go into opinions yet, Jess, please.
I'm
She's
just saying,
tempting me.
What time did they say they were going to call?
Well, they called at, 5:52. Someone shows up on scene around 6 o'clock. Then 4 more officers come on at 8 o'clock. And then this bitch shows up at 10.
I'm saying, what time did the kidnappers say they were going to call?
Well, that was supposed to be for the next day. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, at 10:30 a.m., John Ramsey, JonBenet's father, he goes missing for about an hour. He leaves the house to go pick up the mail. It's later determined that really couldn't be true. because the mail was delivered through the slot in the door. So he just goes missing for an hour.
As you do.
I never heard that one.
Do what?
I never heard about that.
It's yeah. I've also learned new information while going through this. It's something. So at about 1 o'clock, so now we've gone from about 10:30 to 1 o'clock. We're kind of jumping. The detective tells Mr. Ramsey after that he's resurfaced that they are going to be conducting a search of the house. They allow John Ramsey and his friend Fleet White to also participate in the search of JonBenet.
Right.
Or at least the search of the house.
Right.
Okay. This is where it's going to get very sad. At 1:05 p.m., John and Fleet discover JonBenet's body in the spare room in the basement. She's suffered a skull fracture and strangulation. Her mouth and neck are bound with duct tape, which the investigators just removed right there on scene.
I thought John did that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. He removed on scene. Her body is also tampered with when she's picked up and carried upstairs as soon as she's found.
Oh, I have many issues with that.
Wasn't it also
oh,
that the basement was the first place that Detective Arndt told, or no, that's the first place that John and Fleet searched after Detective Arndt told them to conduct their own self-investigation, like keep them I guess she was trying to keep them busy or something, so she was like, okay, if it'll make you feel better and get you out of my hair, go search the house. And then that was the first place they went to, was that room in the basement.
Hmm.
The very first place they searched
It's
is where they found her.
almost a bit too convenient. Well, not even that. I fits very fucking nicely for them, by the sounds of it.
There's this really cool app called Crime Door, I believe, and it uses the VR on your phone, and you can walk through all these big famous crime scenes. They've been reconstructed based on crime scene photos and things like that. And JonBenet's was one of those that you could like virtually walk through. That area was so bizarre. Amber, did you look on that app at that?
I did.
That was a really strange basement area.
I don't understand how if she was there the whole time, why she would have been missed.
Right, because the room that she was found in, it's like at the end, like you go down the stairs and it's like this little basement area with like the water heater or whatever. It was nothing to write home about. And then right there, right in front of you, is the door to the quote-unquote wine cellar that John kept bragging about, even though it was just literally trash and clutter in that room. But the cops had searched down there, and they were like, oh, well, we saw that door, but we didn't go in. It's like, there's nothing else in that basement except for that door. Like, what? What?
Why did you not go in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing an investigation. There's a door.
Yeah.
Go and see what's on the
There's
other
a
side.
missing...
Yeah.
There's a missing child.
Yeah.
Maybe go behind the door.
Yeah. Children will go anyway. If you know.
At 1:30, about almost half an hour after her body's discovered, Boulder policeman Ron Walker and Larry Mason arrive and search the basement and wine cellar for further clues into JonBenet's death. They finally secure the home, preventing anyone else from going in and out of the fucking house, which they should have done to begin with.
Yep.
And at 1:40 p.m., it's alleged that John Ramsey calls his pilot and is heard asking to prepare a plane to Atlanta. Meanwhile, law enforcement instructs the family not to leave town. At 1:45 p.m., heeding the officer's warning, the Ramseys leave the house, but with plans to stay at the Fernie's home, and not flying back to Atlanta. At about 2:30 p.m. that day, police conduct an interview with JonBenet's brother Burke, which reveals the 9-year-old had allegedly slept through the night, and slept through anything that could have possibly happened. He didn't hear or see anything, is what he said in his interview. And at some point after questioning her brother, Jon Ramsey is advised to procure an attorney.
I have issues.
Well, you're going to have go ahead and air them out, because that's the end of my notes, because I wanted to end on a cliffhanger, because there are, let's talk.
So once again, the same as last week, he is with Jess last week, as soon as somebody is asked to get a lawyer, or wants a lawyer, or an attorney, whatever, immediately, ding, 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 fucking alarm bells are going off all over the place, okay? Suspicious as fuck, number one. Secondly, I don't have a kid, and I don't plan on it anytime soon. But if I did, the last thing I'd do is, if they showed up either missing or dead, the last thing I'd do is be on the phone to the airline company and go, get me out of the country.
State.
What is the logic behind it? Where are you going to go? Why?
Yeah, and he he didn't even want to leave the country. He just wanted to fly to the other side of the country.
Their home.
Their home, because that's where they're from, Atlanta, Georgia, and if I'm not mistaken, that's actually where JonBenet is buried, is Atlanta.
They at least had her funeral there, yeah.
Yeah.
That just doesn't add up. Like, there's an active investigation and crime scene going on, and the first thing you're thinking is, well, better go back home. You stay where it's actively and currently going on if you're needed for further investigations.
Especially the fact that your daughter was found dead in your basement.
Yeah.
While you were home.
Yeah.
So it's
that.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird.
Yeah,
this whole case, it was the perfect storm for whoever actually did it. It was bad police work. Super shady parents, but there were also so many factors that pointed in so many different directions. It's like, just when you think you've settled on one opinion, you find out something else, and you're like, ooh, that's weird. That changes things a little bit.
And it's part of the reason why I have wanted to split up what I'm talking about in certain parts of these episodes, because there are so many ways that this case could go. And almost every avenue has been discussed. It's been tried. It's been there. There's a lot to this case. Like I said, I'm not even a month older than this girl. And as me and Jess previously discussed, when this was going on, my parents very much kept me in the loop of what was happening with this case. And it was always under the guise of, honey, we love you. We want you to be aware of stranger danger. See what happened to this little girl, and you're just as pretty as her. That could happen to you too. And while maybe that wasn't the best way to be told and to be made aware of stranger danger, this has just always been this is probably my first introduction into true crime, for one. It's probably my first introduction into unwavering anxiety. So
yeah.
I mean, it's been this case has been a constant dark cloud looming over our lives, especially as women around the age of 30 who grew up in America around the same age as JonBenet. It's like your parents fully exposed you to it, whereas mine were on the totally opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I didn't know anything about it except what I saw on tabloids in the grocery store. And I even mentioned this to my mom a couple weeks ago. I'm like, we're talking about the JonBenet case. And I was like, yeah, like Amber's parents, they fully exposed her to it so that she would kind of understand how the situation was, dangerous and it can happen to anyone. And I'm like, I don't really remember you talking to me about that case or like telling me anything about it. And she's like, well, me and your dad didn't think that you should know about that stuff at that age. Like, you were too young to know what was going on there. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But, I mean, it's one of those things, like I said previously, when you grow up around mine and Amber's age group, and you're an American female, it's like you're going to hear about this case and see it your entire life. I mean, you still cannot go into a grocery store without JonBenet being on the cover of at least one tabloid.
Wow.
It has been like that every single day since this happened 25 years ago.
Wow.
It's just one of those things that it drives America nuts.
That
Cannot
no
deal.
one can that no one can figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Like with the
we will probably never officially know. That's kind of what's sad about this case, and that's just due to how. I mean, I just explained to you what happened with the crime scene, the ins and outs, people coming in and out.
that pretty much just destroyed
There's a
any
lot
case
of.
that was.
I mean,
Yeah.
it destroyed a lot of physical evidence for
Like-
sure.
With the regards to the dad picking up his daughter and taking her out of the room, on one side, I can see a parent reacting like that, finding their child taped up, taking the tape off, and then
Yeah.
removing it, taking it back to
Absolutely.
somewhere safer.
But he also
On that
should
side, I
have
can
never-
understand it, but on the other side is that you're just ruining any evidence that there might be prints and this that, and
And-
the other.
Yeah.
You've just
And I 1000% would expect a emotional father to react that way. I would expect even if it were me in that situation, I would probably want to react that same way too. But at the same time, no one should be allowing me, a mother that is in, despair and is in a vulnerable place. I don't know where my child is. No one should be allowing me to try to search for her.
Yeah.
Especially if I have
No.
called an authority that is supposed to be doing it for me.
No, like,
where-
you need to go keep
just out of
yourself busy.
curiosity-
Go search for her. What?
No,
Where was the note? Where was the note found?
it was found on a staircase.
Not the basement
So,
staircase.
Not the basement.
No.
Okay.
No.
But yeah, so like the cops get there, they interview the parents, and then go, okay, we need to just do a quick search of the house. Stay here, don't go anywhere. That's what should have happened.
Yeah.
They did.
I
That's
agree.
the problem. The cops searched the house like the first time, and then they admitted they ignored that room in the basement. That's why they didn't find her. And then later on, the detective who was
okay.
still there told John, "Oh, like, keep yourself busy. Go search the house for her yourself. Like, just take things off your mind. Keep you from
And they
pacing
went there
around."
first.
Yeah. Which, Amber, did you...
Conveniently.
There was one documentary that I watched that I think it had Detective Arndt in it. Did you happen to catch that one?
Honey, I probably have. I've watched so many.
Well, there was something that she said that I just have not been able to stop. I want to make sure that I'm not stepping on the toes of your notes by mentioning what she said here.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But-
Go for it, dude.
She made a comment in this interview she did for this documentary where when John came back up the stairs with JonBenet's body, and I guess he placed her on the floor in front of the Christmas tree and like took the tape off her mouth or whatever, the detective, she made a comment that some kind, I mean, besides the obvious that they had just found a little girl's body, like, there was some kind of energy shift or something, and she was genuinely concerned. She was counting the bullets in her gun because she thought that they might not leave that house alive when he came back upstairs with JonBenet in his arms.
Wow.
Like, she was implying that he had done something, or he posed some sort of a threat. Like, she was like, I was sitting there counting the bullets in my gun to make sure I could defend myself if I needed to. Like, and whoever did this, they couldn't have picked a better day. Literally, out of 365 days in the year, they picked Christmas night. Boulder is such a wealthy town. They probably had never seen a crime of this magnitude. Like, they probably were not equipped for it at all. Like, I know what, like, we shit on the shitty police work of all of this, but they were probably ill-equipped for a crime like this. And on Christmas, I mean, I think the police department, they even admitted that, like, they didn't have their best cops on duty because it was Christmas night. Like, it was just a bunch of rookies in there. So.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a whole lot of messed up.
Very, very. It's very sickening. It's very disturbing. It's very sad. But also there is a lot of theories that could be thrown around there. But we need more. We need more.
Oh, no.
I love this one. It's like you can dig and dig and dig and think you found the bottom of it, and then, surprise, you haven't.
Yeah,
and then you're
there's
like,
more.
fuck, will this ever end? And no, it doesn't. It never actually ends.
Great. Go.
No, which, again, that's kind of why I chose this to just do a whole arc on, because there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a few documentaries about this one already, and it's one thing watching them. You know, sometimes it's on. I would admit, sometimes it's on just as background noise. But I think this time, actually being involved in it, is in listening along and theorying along. I think this is gonna be. Yeah, damn, fuck.
Well, sorry to make it a bummer and also interesting.
No, I mean, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a stroke there.
Just interested
I think
to
the
hear
bad
what
thing-
else you've got to come out with.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man, you guys are in for
Dude,
a ride.
You really are.
I mean,
This-
that already. I mean, the cliffhanger you just left us on there. The fact that he's been advised by, what was it, his brother, to get an.
I'm not sure who advised him to procure the attorney, but he
But
most
somebody has told him
definitely
that he
was
needs it. I mean, again, the same logic as last week with Jess. It's smart to get an attorney, and it's safer to do it that way. But also at the same time,
You look funky.
You're looking guilty. You got shit to hide. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah, Amber hasn't even given you guys
Well, more
the
so the fact
evidence
that he
yet.
tried to-
The autopsy, we haven't even really gotten into
Oh,
the
I know. This is what I
ransom
mean.
besides you guys hearing
Already
it.
we're procuring, piecing together
Oh,
theories, and we literally only have the smallest piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
This is one of those where if I go on too deep of a dive with it, if I become too obsessed with it, it's like I can't get enough. Like, I'm searching, like, the PlayStation Store for any media, like, any streaming apps that have any kind of JonBenet documentary or JonBenet episodes, or, like, it's like
Dude, and
I can't
I
stop,
also
dude.
love that. Dude, and I also love that. And it's like I told you earlier. Fucking, if I say something and you've got something to tack on or correct me with, by all means, absolutely do it.
Oh, I made
because
notes.
the unfortunate thing
I
about
was
this
like, oh, don't
case
forget
is
this.
that, yeah, because of, like, the fact that there is so much to this case and the fact that it is so old, there's so much information, it's easy to fuck it up whenever you're retelling it. So, by all means, if you want to interject or correct me with something, please do it.
Yay. Yeah, I was taking notes the whole time. I'm like, okay, if she doesn't mention this, I'm going to write this down and make sure to mention it after.
Well,
Oh, man.
definitely thought.
Now I want to
I'm
go
totally
watch
fine with
JonBenet
that.
stuff.
I hope I've entertained you and not saddened
No,
you.
you've definitely entertained me. It's
Oh, it's
as saddening as the case
very
is.
intriguing.
It's not.
It's going to be.
Yeah, it has intrigued me more.
I mean,
than
it is
anything.
sad, yeah.
Yeah, but it is definitely very intriguing. But what's frustrating
Well-
me now is the fact that I've got to wait 4 weeks now before I get anything else on this. So, yay.
Well, I'm very glad that this and we'll go ahead and say my therapist thought that it was a good idea for me to do this topic.
Well, there we go then.
Which I mean, because I'm in there. I'm not ashamed of the therapy game. I love Miss Kim. Shout out. Whenever she, when you get into the nitty gritty of stuff, and I do suffer with anxiety and a whole litmus of other things, and she asks, what's probably the earliest recollection that you have of like a certain fear or the first thought of anxiety, and it's this case. It really is, because like I said, this was my first introduction into true crime. This is how I learned about stranger danger.
Yeah.
This is and I think my parents did their best. I think that they were well intentioned. I think maybe it could have been handled a little differently, but I did learn. I didn't go off with strangers, and yeah.
Yeah, but
We're
my
strangers,
parents
this
didn't
could be
like.
you.
My parents didn't tell me about the JonBenet case, and I didn't go off with strangers either. It's like two very different parenting techniques.
Yeah.
Now you're scared
Yeah,
of
it is.
everything, and I'm scared of nothing. So
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I am. I am absolutely terrified of everything.
I'm gonna ask my mum in the morning over breakfast, like, how did you teach me about stranger danger? She'll just be like, no, I just let you run on your own. Just run through.
Oh, no, okay.
oh, I wouldn't teach you.
Hold on.
I'm-
Hold on, wait. I do remember another way that I was taught about stranger danger, and I'm going to expose the fuck out of Jeanette right now.
Oh, is it the grocery store story?
So, my mom and I were grocery shopping. I was a little thing. I can't remember how old I was. I had to be maybe I'll say between like 4 and 5. 4 to 6 to be forgiving. I wandered off while we were grocery shopping, and I started, just doing my own thing, just walking. And all of a sudden, someone kind of comes up behind me and grabs me. And they put their hand around my mouth, and they dragged me down a couple aisles, and I didn't know what to do. I was scared. And by the time that they had stopped and set me down and turned me around to face them, it was my mom. And she kindly let me know that if she had been someone else and not my mom, that I would probably never see her again. And I'm telling you right now, to this day, if I go into a grocery store with that woman, I don't leave her side.
I can't blame you. That is a fucking good tactic
Well,
to do.
I guess it worked, but that is harsh.
It's extreme.
Just a little.
It's extreme.
Yeah, no,
as
she's
fuck.
scared of everything. Look at her. Well, I can't look at her because I can't see her camera up.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah, my camera has screwed up. I was trying to fix it, and I've let it go.
I got
But,
it.
yeah.
It's extreme as fuck, and it would terrify you, but it's a very good way of teaching you.
It was a tactic. It was a tactic for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I feel like I've just let you all
I
get
can
just
really
a little peek
understand why
inside
you
my
have a lot
brain.
of
I love it.
anxieties nowadays. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
I just hope this JonBenet series of yours really picks up traction, because when I was on a JonBenet deep dive a couple months ago, I was looking for podcasts that covered the topic really well, and I actually did not find that many. Like, there was, My Favorite Murder, they touched on it, and then the last podcast on the left, they did a great episode on it, but there weren't a whole lot that covered it to my liking anyway. There were a lot of I'm not going to talk badly about other podcasts, but yeah.
We don't talk ill of others.
There were only a couple of great. That's what I'll say. So maybe we can edge our way in there.
Well, let's do it some justice then. Good job, Amber. so far.
Thank
Just
you.
for the first episode on it alone. Like, yeah. So,
Well, next up, we're going a little bit out of order next week,
Yeah.
right, guys? It's going to be
Yeah.
Dougie
it's
next
gonna be
week.
Dougie next
and
week, yeah.
I'm not going to be here because I'm getting drunk at a wedding.
Yes, Jess gonna be off partying and
Dougie?
celebrating. And Dougie, what have you got in store for us? Just a bit of a tease.
That's a mystery.
Wait, is it?
You guys
It's an
will have to
unsolved
tune in
mystery.
and find out.
No fucking
It's an
shit.
unsolved mystery.
We've just got John's slogan right there. What's season 5 right? Give us a teaser. Well, it's an unsolved mystery, isn't it? Great. Well, I look forward to it
Well
either way.
At this point, it could be an unknown mystery.
Oh, he's definitely an unknown mystery right now.
Well,
Awesome.
anything
Wow.
we want to add?
I
fear
was just
of-
thinking that.
I mean, I do feel that I'm not going to do as good as the ladies are doing with theirs, but I'll try my best.
Let's be
Naturally, have you seen us?
I'm not the best with
We're fucking great.
investigating and stuff like that. So.
Let's be honest. The ladies have been better at everything than us anyway, Dougie. Let's be honest.
yeah.
But yeah.
That's just nature.
Yeah. Well, ladies are more inquisitive with their
I
minds.
just hope I don't let our
and-
listeners down too much.
Yeah. Ladies are more inquisitive with their mind, and they're more deeper thinkers, and can explain everything a lot more because
No,
you
me and
remember
Amber are just
fucking
borderline serial
Because you
killers.
remember every single fucking detail. Us men were a little bit more simplified, a little bit more running on low capacity mode because it's easier.
You're only saying that because you thought that I was going to be out for 3 weeks straight.
yeah. I did. Thank you for outing me. Yes, I thought you were out. The weekend I was out, and then last weekend, and I could have sworn you were out tonight. But no, it's next weekend. And I bet I'll still get that wrong somehow.
You heard it here first, folks. Ryan's trying to edge me out of Jarred. Let's take a vote and see how that goes.
If anything, I'm the one being edged out at this rate.
No, but you're being edged, though.
Am I? You got fucking riled up for nothing, thanks.
Well, I guess I'll close it out then.
On that note, yes.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys. What's all the stuff again? Go to our website,
You
jarredpodcast.com. Find us on Instagram at jarredpodcast. Find us on Twitter at jarredofficial. Facebook group, Jarred posting. Now it just sounds like I'm saying random words.
It's all true though. I'm not jumping in. Anytime I do it, I mess it up.
Yeah, so shh. Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/jarred. Buy some merch from our store on jarredpodcast.com. Become a patron on our Patreon. I don't know the link to that, so find it yourself.
Patreon/Jar Podcast. That one I do know.
And you can find us on Spotify, Apple, and Google. Please rate, review, subscribe, download, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Get us to the top. Thanks. Bye.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.